Curved display smartphones used to be a thing, they were popular everywhere, but now they are kind of fading away from the top tier phones. Samsung, for example, in their S Ultra lineup has been slowly removing the curve, and now the S24 Ultra is pretty much flat. That's weird because Samsung is the company that popularized those dual curve designs in the first place. So why is this design, which was once considered a pinnacle of premium phones, going away? I think I can answer that pretty well because I have personally been using dual curved display phones for the past 7 years. So I can tell you from a daily use perspective the upsides and downsides. This video is now relevant because curved displays are no longer reserved for only premium phones. Even budget phones nowadays are getting those. Let's start with the pros and then we'll move to the cons. Biggest pro, of course, is the bezel-less look. The edges will be curved so you can't see the bezels on there. And I can confirm that even after using it every day, you don't get bored of that look. Multimedia looks amazing, and as someone who consumes a lot of content on my phone, I love it. Not to mention it looks very premium as well. People ask me all the time, which phone is that? Even online I get a lot of those comments. And that's nothing new to me. I've used these curved phones for a long time. Looks aside, what I care more about is the feel. I love how it feels in the hand. That's what she said. But the curved displays can smoothly transition over to the edges of your phone without feeling any sharp borders. It feels super slick and smooth when you run your thumb over it for, navigation gestures. I've gotten so used to it without realizing that when I see a flat screen phone, it looks like an ancient device to me. I remember going into an Apple store last year looking at the new iPhone 14 Pro Max and being absolutely weirded like, what is this? This is the best design they can offer because all I can see were those side bezels. In fact, some of the Apple Store employees asked me, which phone is this? Because, this phone isn't available in this country. Honor sent this phone to me from Hong Kong, so they were unfamiliar with it. And from a design perspective, my phone was looking better than the iPhones there, so the employees were giving me a dirty look there. That's when I realized, oh, wow, these curved displays really do have an impact on your perception. I couldn't see myself using that flat screen iPhone, to be honest. So I think you can tell I'm a fan. But that doesn't mean there aren't downsides to this design, and I'll tell you that. Firstly, these curved displays make the phone very slippery. And most of these curved display phones also have a glass back. Glass on the front, glass on the back with metal on the sides, which is a pretty common design nowadays. But around 6 years ago, that was reserved for the premium phones. I have dropped my phones a lot mainly because the curved displays were slipping in my hand. And on that note, it's actually difficult to protect your phones with those displays. A screen protector can't properly cover those curves and it'll eventually rise up because you're constantly using them, and every time you take it in and out of your pocket, the screen protector on the side will be chipped away. One of my phones, the Note 8, had a screen protector and a back case, and it fell on the ground back in 2019 and it absolutely shattered. Look at this, I found a video backup on my Google Drive and oh man, that looks nasty. It was 7 a.m, I was sleepy, I was about to take a phone call before heading into my vacation and I accidentally dropped the phone from my head height, and I'm a tall guy. So it just fell on the road, and despite having all these protection, it just shattered. $200 to replace that screen. That's another downside, by the way. Curved displays are extremely hard to replace and they're expensive. I say hard to replace because they're not easy to fix back in place, so if you had any water resistance rating on your phone, that'll be no longer applicable. And also, depending on which environment you're using it, you could get some light glare on the side, so that may kind of disturb some people. I mean, eventually you will get used to it and you will learn how to hold the phone with the display on the sides, but you can't comfortably hold it like this as you hold a regular phone because your fingers will cover the side screen and it may not work normally. So it definitely takes some time with your grip and requires extra care because, like I said, it's fragile. I do have a recommendation though. It's a phone skin. Like I said, a case doesn't really protect the screen, and even if you have a screen protector, it won't cover the display properly. So the best solution is to not drop the phone, and the best way to do that is to add some grip to it. There are tons of skins available. You can buy any third-party ones, and it's pretty easy to customize and cut it to your phone's length as you wish. We've actually done that on one of our phones. That phone fell down and the back glass cracked, so we installed a skin on it to see what happens. I was curious if it will cause any heating issues or something with the phone's ventilation, but no, there was nothing like that. Aside from the looks, it'll add extra grip to the back, so it will no longer be as slippery. And it's easy to peel away anytime you want, so I recommend you get that. Just buy any simple minimal skin and put it on your phone. That'll give extra grip. I don't use anything on my phone. I don't use a case, I don't use a screen protector. It's all natural and naked. Because I had a case and it just shattered anyway, so I don't use it anymore. I love feeling the premium materials in my hand, and using a case will completely ruin that feeling anyways. But the reason why companies like Samsung are moving away from this is that it has become a common trend and it's no longer a flagship feature anymore. Like I said, even budget phones nowadays have these curved displays and it has become like a cheap budget trend, and I suppose Samsung is thinking it's no longer a defining feature. Besides, it's a lot more expensive and kind of complicated to manufacture anyway, and if it's not gonna add any flagship appearance, if every phone has it, then what's the point? Yes, it looks cool, but if it's difficult to manufacture and repair, then might as well not have it and instead give better quality displays. In fact, that's a trend I'm noticing now, that companies are competing for display brightness. Some people are coming up with 1400 nits, 1500, 2000 nits. Are they trying to fry our eyeballs? I'm not sure. There's always a tech fad going on, and I think now it's the screen brightness. Alright, screen brightness at least has some uses. But what about you? Do you have a curved display phone? What do you think about it?